All right, guys, in this webinar, I'm going to show you how to become an Amazon bestseller. We've done almost 150. We have it down to a science. It's actually pretty easy to do. But before we begin, I want you to remember these three things. It all comes down to leverage, positioning, and timing. There's no magic trick. It's not that hard. It just comes down to leverage, positioning, and timing. Leverage, which is your network. Positioning, where it's placed in Amazon. Timing, those people buying it on a certain day at a certain time. Remember those three things. It's just that easy, right? So, there's three websites that are very, very important. When you go to upload your book, you need to upload it through kdp.amazon.com. kdp.amazon.com. I'll have a link down below. Upload it through there. All we care about is the Kindle version, not the paperback. So upload it through the Kindle in an EPUB or a .mobi format. Very easy to do. You can go through Word document and convert it there, or you can go to a website and actually say Word to .mobi or .epub. Doesn't really matter for this sake. All we care about is the bestseller piece. Now, bestseller, going into this, know that it's not a great money-making technique. It's a marketing technique. Anybody who's an Amazon bestseller knows someone or knows the strategy. The strategy is what got me out of obscurity, all right? So this is going to help you, but you got to go into it knowing that it's all marketing. It's all marketing. Remember that. So if you have a network, if you understand the positioning and you understand how important timing is, you're going to do really well with this. I'm going to share a screen with you. What matters is this number. Go down to the bottom of these pages. Look at a book. Doesn't matter. Amazon bestseller in retailing industry. The Elon Musk method. It's got Elon Musk on the cover. It's got to sell a lot, right? Not necessarily. Take a look at this number. Go down to Amazon bestsellers rank. It says 13,099. 13,099. That is the number that you really do got to care about more than anything else. Because in this industry, the retailing industry and service industry, it's number one. So if I were to scroll to the number ones in Kindle, remember this is only Kindle. The reason why is because Kindle is calculated immediately. Paperback is calculated every 24 to 48 hours. You cannot buy multiple copies at once on Kindle, because Amazon is pretty smart and they say, well, because you have one email, you can only buy one Kindle version of this book, and they can automatically track it. Paperback's a little bit different, but it's just calculated when the book is shipped, which takes about 24 to 48 hours. So one email account can buy one Kindle version, gives you the accurate records of how many books were sold, which gives you the representation of, okay, I see what was sold. I know where I stand. I know where I'm going, because you'll be able to go into your back end and look at reports on your kdp.amazon.com and see how many were sold. So I can even show you that right now. We'll get to this in a second. So this is the back end, kdp.amazon.com. You're going to log in and load up the book right here. So go in, you make sure your tax information is updated, banking information, and you're going to create a Kindle book. This is the reports up here. So you're going to see your sales in reports. You'll know how many you're selling on a certain day, and it's going to give you the idea of, do you need to sell more, or did you hit the number and you're good to go and just wait for Amazon to calculate, seeing if you're number one. Now, number one means you're the bestseller in a category, not all of Amazon. I mean, you think you're really going to beat Harry Potter's and all these other different books? Absolutely not. But you can beat certain categories. So let's create a book. I'm going to create one just for fun here. It's got to be an EPUB or a .mobi, like I said. Create a test book, subtitle, none of this really matters. Keywords, do not worry about this. Here's why. If you are going to be changing categories, Amazon's going to look at these keywords and say, does this match up with what we're putting them in at? And then they'll move you around based off of that. So leave the keywords blank. Okay, not until you're an Amazon bestseller do you mess with these, because this is really a long-term approach, these keywords. People looking it up years from now, months from now, finding your book very easily. But in the very beginning, keep it blank. Categories, this is what really matters. There's hundreds, if not thousands of categories for this reason. Amazon is a marketing company. They want you to say you're an Amazon bestseller. Anybody who says that it's difficult is lying to you, all right? So go around, look around, and see how many categories that you're really interested in that maybe fit your book, even in the slightest degree. Okay, so look around, be like, oh, okay, I see, I understand that these are the categories I could put my book in. That you can get 2 categories. I recommend you use both slots. You can pick two of them. So if I want to pick history, if I want to pick business and economics, so I can pick general. You do not want to do that because you're going to go up against some big names. So let's go back to this one. This is the number one in the retailing industry. All right. I'm just making this is what you want to do, is look around and see what are the best sellers in each category that you're interested in. The retailing industry, we put a lot of books around this category, so I know this well. Look at number one, selling $13,099, which is the number one. How do I know what I need to sell to beat that? Well, you go to kindlepreneur.com. That's kindlepreneur.com. Hopefully you can see this. I know that with Zoom, every once in a while the pages get screwed up a little bit. So hopefully you're able to see this page, but it's kindlepreneur.com. And just go to it like I'm going to it for the first time. You'll get to this page. It says, discover how many Kindle books do I need to sell to beat number one. Okay, I'm going to put 13,000. I never put the actual amount. I put it a little bit lower. It's just to kind of hack the system a little bit more. I need to sell 14 in a day to beat the number one book, which is the Elon Musk book. Now, don't look at it as 14 in 24 hours, which is what they're thinking here. You need to sell 14 in an hour. And in order to dominate, I usually dominate by multiplying this by 2. So 14 times 2 is 28. I need to sell that within an hour. Why 1 hour? Because this is the guaranteed approach. I know if I sell 28, it's going to beat this book. I know for a fact. Okay, so if I can beat this book, and I know for a fact, it's going to calculate 2 to 3 hours after we break the record. And now you're going to be able to see it as number one in that category. So it's very important that you multiply it by 2, and then, okay, I need to sell 28. So if you have 28 friends, family members, coworkers, people on your team, whatever, that could buy your book on a certain day at a certain time, match 28, you're an Amazon bestseller in that category. And you'll get the bestseller tag. It takes a little bit longer if you're, depending on which category you're in, or the number one new release tag. But you need to sell 28. So I would go back into this one, and I would look for the retailing industry. And they're all over the place. So you just look around, try to find the retailing. And you can do a control find and find which industry it is. Now, Amazon makes these changes every once in a while that take away from the actual front page of Amazon. So you might find a category that looks really good, but you can't find it back here. That's because Amazon's making some changes and updates, and it's just going away. So, you're going to have to dig on some categories. Total quality management, time management, training. All of these are really good categories to be in. So find ones that are not like the sexiest and the most glamorous ones, like motivation. That's going to be very difficult. You don't want to go against the Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone. You want to go against people who are doing the exact same thing as us with not a big marketing budget. Major publishers are behind the Gary V's, the Tony Robbins. These people are going to be putting tons of money into Amazon. You're not going to do that. You're going to find 28 people to buy your book on a certain day at a certain time, and all of a sudden now you're an Amazon bestseller that you can use for the rest of your life. So you're going to find, let's just say it's total quality management or retailing, whatever. You can only pick 2 books or 2 categories. I'm sorry. So you can pick 2 categories and make sure they're 2 good ones. Quality control, time management. These are ones that people don't really know exactly what these categories do. But that's why it's important for you to find ones that are not super glamorous and known. You got to find ones that are a little obscure, and you got to be ones. They got to be comfortable genres. You don't want to have something that has nothing to do with your book. You want something that's a little bit close, but it really doesn't matter. These are fishing ponds. And I don't know if I said that in this video or not, but Amazon has 3 different fishing ponds: easy, middle, and hard. And the longer you stay in this game of having your book on Amazon, you want it to be in a very, very big fishing pond. So you want to start in a really small one. You want to hit bestseller and then move it to a middle ground one, and then get it to a bigger fishing pond. And the reason why is because if you get a lot of momentum behind you, then Amazon's going to say, hey, everyone who bought Tony Robbins' book in this category, you might like, Susie's book. So check out Susie's book. Does that make sense? I hope you're still with me. Anyway, go back and start to look at, I'm going to share the screen again with you. Bear with me. Sharing screens and stuff, it's difficult. All right. Okay. So You got to sell 14. Now, play around with this number. I know this pretty well since we've done so many books. So I know that I need to sell 28. I'll put them in a good category. I'll reach out to my network. These are great days to do the bestseller push. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Do not do an Amazon bestseller push on a weekend. Do not do it. The sales go up. And here's another piece to it all. Do not do the Amazon bestseller push after 2 p.m. Eastern time. Why is that? Because people are starting to wake up. They're going to start buying books. And if you look at Amazon's selling history, usually it starts to get crazy after 5 p.m. Eastern time. It starts to skyrocket. Everybody's awake. Everybody's buying. You want to do it when people are sleeping or not buying, because it's the free market. You're going against other people doing the exact same thing. And you're going against big names and people who have a lot of money with advertising budgets. So do this at 9 a.m. Eastern time. 9 a.m. Eastern time. Remember that. I mean 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. Pacific time. Why is that important? Because West Coast has a lot of sales. And the longer you go into the day, the more they're going to wake up and buy stuff. So you're going to be fighting against time and the market. And you really, really want to do this as early as possible. I love 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, up until 12 p.m. Eastern time, okay? Now, that 2 to 3 hour window is perfect to get all your friends and family to buy the book. Could be your friends, family, whatever. Just get people to buy the Kindle version. You're going to price it at 99 cents. I didn't say this in the very beginning, but you're going to price it at 99 cents for a reason. It's a promotional price. You can always up it. You can always change genres. You can always change a price. But when you do the Amazon bestseller push, keep the price low. Therefore, a lot of people buy with ease, or you could pay people to buy it for you. I've seen people do this. It doesn't matter. 99 cents, change the price whenever, change the category whenever. Once you get 28 people to buy that book on a certain day at a certain time, let's just say Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., all of 2 to 3 hours later, Amazon calculates it and says, okay, this beat this book. Let's push it to number 1. And so, going back to this screen, if you sell 28 within an hour or two, it's going to beat this guy. It's going to push it to approximately, let's just say 9,000 sales rank. It'll give you a number 1 in this category. And so when you go to this page 3 hours after you hit bestseller, you're going to know how many you sold, by the way, from going back to reports. This is where you're going to see how many you sold, reports. All right? Go back to reports, see how many are buying, and therefore you're able to know if you bought, they bought. Let me take this share away. You're going to be able to see automatically people buying within, they buying right away. There's about a 10-minute delay on your Kindle and about 24 hours on your paperback. So Kindle, you're going to know right away how many people are buying. So go back to reports, see that. Okay, I sold 28. I'm good. Let me just sit and wait. Okay, you don't need kindlepreneur.com anymore. And when you go back to this page, usually about 3 or 4 hours later, sometimes 5, sometimes a little longer, depending on which day it is, you'll see that you are number 1. Number 1. And you'll be ahead of the Brad Stones, who has 1,300 reviews, 607 reviews for Donald Norman. I mean, you can beat these people pretty easily. You could beat Sam Walton. Sam Walton is made in America right now. Sam Walton wrote this book, I guess, or was it ghostwritten? Looks like it was ghostwritten. Just think about this for a second. You could beat Sam Walton's book, who right now is selling 35,000 sales rank. I'm saying he's selling right around 7 books a day. 7 books. Now that's why people are not making a lot of money in book sales directly. They're making money through the marketing of the book. Opportunities, speaking gigs, attention. Anyway, once you hit number 1, let's go back to that. You take pictures. You can get the tag. If you stay there long enough, you get this tag. You get the number 1 new release tag. Now, all of a sudden, you are an Amazon bestseller, and you can use it for the rest of your life. I take pictures left and right for all of our clients. You use it everywhere you go. There's no denying it. You are an Amazon bestseller. It's fantastic. People ask me about Kindle Unlimited. I would not do this for a couple different reasons. The reason why is because now they own like a percentage or a piece of the book that says you can't or can do certain things with your book. I don't like it. And the reason why is because I love to give my book away. I don't want anybody having any say-so in my book. Dreamstars Publishing, you own 100% of the book. With this, Kindle Unlimited, you're going to start to get limited. You might get a little bit more attention online, but remember, if you use the book properly by giving it away on your website, free plus shipping, then you're going to do so much better. So much better. So to recap, I'm going to keep this really short for you. It's all comes down to leverage, positioning, timing. You use kindlepreneur.com to find the sales rank. How many do you need to sell? You look at kdp.amazon.com, you go into reports, you double check how many are selling. You position this in a right category, an easy category, by doing a little bit of research, either 2 or 3 days in advance. Figure out which category is easy to win in. Put it in that category. Takes about 12 hours for it to change categories. So when you move categories, remember, pop it in one, move it to another, move it to another. Takes about 12 hours maximum with a Kindle. A little bit longer with paperback. But you can keep moving as time goes on. Pick the right category, use kindlepreneur.com, check your reports for how many are selling in that day, position it, remember, with 2 different categories, but plan it correctly with your team or with people who are friends and family. Hey, on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., can you please buy my book? Oh, I'll buy it right now. No, do not buy it right now. I need you to buy it from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time on this day. There's a couple different reasons for that. I can't explain that, but please buy it at that time. So all of a sudden, this velocity, Amazon loves velocity, by the way. When you have a lot of velocity coming through, it's going to push you to number 1. You take the screenshots, and now you're an Amazon bestseller for the rest of your life. Paperback, you could do the exact same thing. It's just a longer approach. You can get a lot of friends, family, and all that to buy the book. It's a little bit higher cost. It's going to be harder to do, but you could stay longer at number 1 because Kindle kind of flows around and people jump from number 1 to number 2 to number 10, back to number 1 very frequently. I hope you are able to understand the strategy behind all this. This is about a 2 to 3 day process. One day you are going to be doing a lot of work because you're going to be looking at the computer quite a bit, checking sales ranks, making sure you're number 1 because you want to be glued to your screen the day of the bestseller push because you don't want to hit there and then disappear. You want to hit there, get the picture, share it with your friends, family, everybody who's a part of it. Thank you so much. Get the screenshots and then use that on your marketing materials for the rest of your days. I hope this answered your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Mike at istartedfromzero.com. I can answer some things for you. And I think this is the basic outline. We do it for people. We usually charge about $500 to do this for people. It's like I said, it's a 2 to 3 day process. As long as you are planned, ahead of time of what to do, when to do it, it's an easy thing for you guys. So I think that summarizes it up. Kindle version, position it in the right categories, do your research about 3 days in advance, 99 cents. Check your sales reports, have a good close network of people who are on text message or on email who are willing to buy it and be there for you when you need it. That's the most stressful part. Everybody says they're going to do it for you, but they don't. If you have 15, 20, 25 people that you can rely on, you could pretty much become a bestseller anytime you want. Let me know if you need anything, and I'm here for you. We want to help you become the hero of your own story. For those who are chasing their heroes, this is going to help you so much because it comes down to attention, and being an Amazon bestseller will get you a lot of attention.